but I think I will start now. So hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar in the ILIAD webinar series. Today, we are going to talk about the ILIAD Blue technology tool, transfer tool with focus on academia. And with us today, we have an expert panels on tech transfer. And at the end, we will also show you the first version of the ILIAD tech transfer tool. My name is Bente Liljaby. I'm going to be your host as usual. I am from Norway and are also the innovation manager of ILIAD, the ILIAD project. The program today will be, I will show you the program, but before we start on that, so housekeeping, we would love for you to ask questions and comment in the chat, so please do that. We run the presentations one after the other with maybe one short question for one of the speakers in this case, but the discussion is meant for the end, and we hope to have you on board all the way to the discussion part, because this is really something we would like to hear your views on, the ILIAD tech transfer tool. And so I will start to share my screen and show you the program in detail and also introduce the individual the speakers. So here we go. So the program is as follows. We start with a short introduction also to ILIAD and digital twins, for those of you who are not so familiar with it. Then we have the Israeli Blue Tech Transfer Academy to Industry by Sharon Elishman from the National Center of Blue Economy. Then we follow this with the Booster and Horizon Results platform by Flora Petto and Jory Kalatayo. Sorry for this misspelling your name, Jordi. From the European Commission. Then we will have some implementation experiences, the innovative solutions and knowledge transfer between EU climate vulnerable regions by Vilja Balionit Merle from Sintef Digital. And then our very own Sofia Parsadanian from the American University of Armenia will introduce the Blue Tech Transfer tool in use. And then finally, the discussion part. So a few words about digital twins. Identical twins, the human identical twins, they are very identical when they are born. Here you see actually my father and my uncle when they were babies. The parents had to tag them in the very beginning in order to distinguish who was who. Why do I show you this picture? Is because identical twins, as they grow older and get more experience, they grow more different. You could easily see the difference between them, if you knew them at least, as they grew older. With digital twins, on the other hand, the longer you develop the digital twin of, in this case, the ocean, it becomes more and more alike. So the digital twin becomes more alike the real geophysical or physical reality. There has been a lot of discussions of what exactly do we mean by digital twin of the ocean, digital twins in general. Since the ILIAD project started, we have gotten now the ISO, so a standardization body's definition of a digital twin. It's a digital representation of a target entity with data connections that enable convergence between the physical and the digital states at an appropriate rate of synchronization. That means that you can have more real-time data at different schedules. You know, some near real-time. You have different definition of what that is, but you can also continuously feed your digital replica with historical data and other types of data. And this is within the definition from ISO here. ILIAD is also adding to this definition that the digital twin should be interoperable within and also among the twins, and it should be cost-effective digital twins of the ocean. So interoperable and reusability and portability is key to the definition of digital twins of the ocean in ILIAD. Here you see a digital twin pipeline. You will recognize this from other digital applications and services. You start with acquiring and collecting data. You have to store the data and prepare the data so that you can make analytics based on that, run some algorithms, etc. And then you have to present the result in various ways, visualizations or graphs or whatever the user needs. This is the similar as any applications and service. The thing with digital twins is that you have this feedback loop. So you are continuously improving this digital replica. Oops, I was going a little bit too fast there. No, I wasn't. Yeah, so the ILIAD digital twins, we talk twins plural because we have thematic twins and local twins. And here you see the 12 different thematic areas that we have divided our twins into, depending on what kind of activity that we are doing related to the ocean. So we have jellyfish swarm. This is the Israeli colleagues here will know this very well. We have oil spill simulations, plastic pollutions, fisheries and aquaculture, marine and maritime insurance, water quality, ship traffic monitoring, coastal sediment transport, ocean energy potential, met ocean high now and forecast, which you are very familiar with, all of us are, ballast water monitoring, harbor safety, and also improving existing and managing existing wind farm capacities. So those are thematic twins, and they are also placed on a specific location. So very quickly, some numbers of ILIAD. ILIAD is a innovation action in the European Framework Program. We started in February 22, and we will end this end of July 2025. It's quite a big investment, close to 19 million euros, combined with the partners, and of course, the most of it comes from the European Commission. We are 54 partners from 19 countries, and mark here that it's not only Europe, but we also have Africa and the Middle East in our range of localities. So with that, I end the presentation of the introduction to ILIAD. I already introduced myself briefly. In addition to being an innovation manager for ILIAD, I am very enthusiastic about data management and making this gap cover this gap between science and technology and actual implementations, as we do in ILIAD. The first speaker is Sharon Elishman. He is head of business development with the Israeli National Center of Blue Economy and Innovation, and he is also a research coordinator, and I believe this is a marine what is that actually, Sharon?
Policy and strategy.
Policy and strategy. And he has long experience in this. It's a pleasure to have you here, Sharon. We are very excited to hear what you have to tell us about your experience. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much. I'll share my screen. Okay, I hope everyone can see it.
Yes.
Okay, so hello again. My name is Sharon. I'm from the Israeli Blue Tech, Israeli National Center of Blue Economy. And I'm here to tell you a few words about our processes of how do we see and act regarding the transfer of technology or ideation from academy to industry. So I have 10 minutes, so I'll try to share as much as I can. Mainly, we are bridging the gap between academic innovation and commercial success in Israel, in Israeli blue economy, in this area. The National Center of Blue Economy focuses on transforming marine research into a technological entrepreneurial ecosystem. We base it on viable solutions for global marine challenges, not only in Israel. And inside our center, we also have an Institute of Marine Policy and Strategy, where they do research in a higher level, not a technological one. And when we look ahead, we try to combine both. We try to see what will be the big issues in the strategy level in a few years. And if we can, we try to innovate or push the relevant ideas toward the industry that will be able to solve in the next few years the problems that are arising. The center is actually a catalyst for innovation. Is seeking for strategic partnerships with key institutions. We want to create, let's say, an environment for everybody to share ideas and also to make the transformation from ideas to startups. And after that, to allow the startups to grow in the industry, in the relevant industry. We decided to focus on excellent startups because there are a lot of startups. Everyone has great ideas, but not everybody are able to push it and make it real. So every year we choose a few startups. We have a committee and let's say a process we decided upon, where we screen, you might say, some of the startups. We have a few dozens startups, close to 100 apply every year, and we choose a few of them that we think have the, let's say, the most better chance to succeed, and also those that we can help them in the connections, in any advice, or allow them to grow in our environment. And the last thing, we try to connect everybody. We understand that in order to succeed, you have to have good connections, and everybody needs to push you together, you might say. So we are trying to connect some governmental offices to investors, to academy, to startups, and of course industry, because each stage that you push a startup involves one of those authorities or organizers. So first of all, I wanted to make a common base and to share with you in one slide what is the traditional journey of a startup. Usually it starts from ideation. Someone has a good idea or recognizes a problem and tries to solve it. After that, usually they do it to a market research in order to understand if someone will be able or will want to pay on the solution for this problem, if the pain is big enough. And after they see, okay, so I have an idea and someone needs it and will be willing to pay for it, they go to a development process. And after that, if the development process is a successful one, they are creating a bigger company, scaling up the business and entering relevant markets. So what's unique in academic knowledge? Actually, I will share with you some of the issues, or you might say problems we have here in Israel in our model that we are trying to solve all the time. And sometimes we are looking in the international arena and recognize there that they have some better or best practices that we see. So first of all, in Israel, the university-centric is, we have offices. The transfer, in each university, you have offices that they are the gatekeepers. They are the ones who the doctors, professors, when they have an idea that they want to commercialize, they approach those offices, and they're the one who are responsible to writing the application for the IP or the patent, and also finding investors. In Israel, the IP is owned by the institution, which might be a limitation later on for a startup. Also, they have a lengthy approval processes. It takes a lot of time for them to get the relevant approvals to commercialize their ideas. And also, let's say they are not very involved after the process is done or after they approve for the researcher to become an entrepreneur. But in the first contract that they do, the university with the entrepreneur, they put a few limitations sometimes that when investor later come and check this agreement, they might say, no, I don't want to approach this startup or invest because there are too many limitations. It's like weights that will grow bigger and bigger if the startup will succeed and grow. We might come and touch this a bit later. On the other hand, we recognize that in international arena, not in all the international arena, but there is a research-centric with supportive ecosystem. I mean, maybe not all of the institutes know how to push the startup, but they do allow them more flexibility in a few processes like sharing the IP. It's not completely owned by the university. They are creating new pathways for the commercialization of the startup. And also there are connections with the industry early in the process. So the researcher has a partner, experienced partner that can guide him through the way to commercialize the idea. So some key insights, just a few of them. The main one as I see them. First of all, academic foundation. So university research, it is a robust technological validations. People trust this validation. It creates a strong starting point for the credible startups when they say this was invented in this and this university and by this professor. So they have a strong validation for their technology or ideation. Scientist versus entrepreneur. So academic excellence doesn't always guarantee a businessman or woman. This is for the support systems like my organization. They must bridge the skill gap effectively. Some of the entrepreneurs allow that, some of them are not allowing that, but it is a gap that we see and we try to help them, those who need it, to gap it. Sometimes, by the way, the scientist is a great entrepreneur, but it's not a 50-50 case, let's say like that. Marine environment challenges. Some of the ideas don't come from a marine experience researcher. Sometimes it's from other fields. And there are very harsh conditions when you want to build a system at the sea and it needs to work at the sea for a long time. It can be something that is obvious for those who live in the marine environment, like the seawater, the saltwater, the biofouling, and additional development like weather conditions. And of course, the market is very, very conservative. And a lot of new technologies are having problems to enter this market because the business models address longer sales cycles and the customer require more and more proofs, and it takes time. And not all startups can endure this long time, or they have the budget that they require to do all the testing. Two examples, because I have a bit more time. Just wanted to share with you two ideas from two startups that we see in our center. The first one is Displaced Bio. So it came to handle the problem of biofouling or biofilm. It's you can see in the picture, it's like a mass that is covering the ship over time or buildings that are underwater. And it's very hard to dispose of that. Usually you use toxic solutions to clean it. And this is very hurtful for the environment. So we have a researcher from a hospital that was looking for a solution how to avoid infections on knives or tables. And he found a solution and he's on its way. It's a very good entrepreneur, but it takes a long time to cover a ship and to prove that it doesn't hurt the hull. So this is just an example for a doctor that invented an idea and is trying to push it through the marine environment. Another idea is electric algae, generation of bioelectric energy from the macroalgae. So it's also a technology transfer from academic research to the Technion, something that is very innovative, and they're trying to do it exactly like the first one, even though this is a doctor from a hospital and this one is from another field. So the main challenging, first of all, promising technology is a good indicator, but it's not all. Scale-up challenges are very difficult. It's very difficult to go from laboratory to open water conditions. And the market. The market is not always willing to adopt. It needs to be ready to adopt a new technology and to pay for it. And of course, the regulation needs to be also there. So what do? We try to transfer knowledge and to do some kind of reform in the ecosystem that we have to make it easier to recognize good technologies and to make it easier for the academy to commercialize it. We try to support in the early stage in order to not to let the good ideas or good entrepreneurs die, let's say, in the beginning of the process, but push them as much as we can if we think they have the skills and what is needed. And of course, we think that, especially in the marine environment, global partnership is very important because they help us to understand the essence and also the value of this idea and the startup. And we always invite people all around the world to join us. I mean, we do look mainly on startups from Israel, but if someone wants to come and build a startup in Israel and their idea is not from Israel, that's also fine for us. We just want to make the sustainable ecosystem better and find solutions for us all to solve problems in the ocean and the seas. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Sharon. Very useful experiences for us to take into account and build further on. I did a very short informal poll while you were speaking, and there's an agreement in the room that there are a huge number of challenges when it comes to this tech transfer. And you had a nice collection of them, I would say, with also some good ideas how to solve them. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sharon, yes. Now moving on to the next speakers. We have two. We have Flora Peto from DG Research and Innovation, so the European Commission. And Flora works in the unit called the Common Knowledge and Data Management Service, which works for the implementation and valorization strategy to maximize the impact and further uptake of research results from EU-funded projects such as ILIAD, and to deploy initiatives such as the booster that we will hear more about, the booster and the Horizon Results platform. And I just realized that I'm not actually sharing my screen, am I? I will just, because the next one to speak, her colleague from the Research and Innovation Directorate is Jordi Kaladatayud, and he's a policy assistant, so complementing, I'm sure, Flora, who is a consultant working exactly on the same issues. So let me see. I think I can give you the floor already. Yes?
Yes. Thank you very much today. So indeed, we are Jordi and Flora from DG Research and Innovation. We are going to present to you today the booster and the Horizon Results platform. So for those of you who don't know what the booster is, basically the booster is an initiative of the European Commission that is dedicated to unlocking the full potential of the research and innovation results through expert support in the dissemination and exploitation fields. It's a tailored service to your project needs. It's provided also free of charge, and the aim is to support you in every step on the way towards your market uptake and societal impact. So I'm going to move to the next slide. So for you to know what projects are eligible, as you can see, we can support either ongoing or closed projects in several funding programs, for instance, Horizon Europe, Horizon 2020, the Framework Program 7, that are directly funded by the European Commission as such, or also by any agency of the European Commission, and also indirectly funded by other programs related to Horizon Europe, such as joint undertakings, partnerships, or the EIT KICS. So this is more or less the eligibility for our booster services. Also, who can apply? You can apply either as a single organization or as a group of organizations that can represent either one project or a group of projects. In case you apply, for instance, as a group of projects, then just one of the projects, let's say the lead applicant, would have to be from one of the eligible funding programs that I mentioned in the slide before. For you to know more about the actual services that the booster can offer, we offer basically two main services. One of them is the dissemination support service, and the other of them is the go-to-market support. And apart from that, we offer some add-on services that are complementary to these core services. Let's say that you have to go through the core services in order to also benefit from the add-on services. So if we go more in depth to one of the core services, which is dissemination support, then this service lasts, I'm gonna, okay. This service lasts for a maximum of 6 months, and basically it will help you to enhance your dissemination plans and execute the dissemination of your project or the portfolio and the results. It will include, for instance, coaching and assessing and improving strategies in the communication landscape, and also to identify, for instance, key intellectual assets, target audiences, also, for instance, channels that can optimize the impact of your communications, and so on. During this service, you will also receive, for instance, guidance on effective dissemination methods, storing materials, and also you will be able to showcase the results on the Horizon Results platform that Flora will mention afterwards, and will explain in more detail what this platform is. Then we also have the other core services, which is the go-to-market support services. And one second. And well, the duration of this service is also 6 months. It will assist you to advance your key exploitable results toward market readiness. It will support you to create a compiling and differentiated unique value proposition, also to develop a business plan, and to identify opportunities for further exploitation or reuse of your research results. You will also assess the maturity of your results, conduct market analysis, perform risk assessments, and identify key stakeholders and potential business partners. Um, Even in that go-to-market service, you can also get support to identify other funding opportunities, and also get advice on the creation of spin-offs and startups. The final objective of this service will be to advance the market uptake of your project results. So as I was mentioning before, apart from these core services, we also have these add-ons, which are made to offer additional support. The first of them is networking. So basically, this service will allow you to expand your contact database and capitalize on project results by connecting these results with key stakeholders and initiatives that can be a match. And then it also can include the development of a networking strategy, also mapping opportunities to engage relevant stakeholders, matchmaking also with entrepreneurs, and also it will offer guidance to you on building networks at various levels. The second of them, of these add-ons, is the portfolio analysis. So basically, in this one, you will be offered coaching to create and analyze a portfolio of project results that can have a joint dissemination and exploitation that will, of course, enhance the overall impact of the group of projects. So in during this service, you will assess existing portfolios, you will develop new ones, and share dissemination values, and also cluster with other relevant projects, and of course, get synergies from them. Then we also have the intellectual assets management service that will help you to develop an intellectual assets management strategy that will ensure the readiness for dissemination and exploitation. It will be focusing mostly on intellectual the identification of intellectual assets. It will offer advice as well on ownership, on IP rights, valuation, and licensing, and also additional support on IP management if needed. Then we'll also have the coaching for public speaking that will offer you the skills to effectively present research results to key stakeholders and at events, offering support to you with the preparation of the material that has to be presented, also to the targeting of the audience, and also improving speaking techniques. And finally, we have the audiovisual support that will support you to create a video to enhance the dissemination of your research results, especially in the Horizon Results platform. So for you to know, so far what we have done in the booster is that we have more than 200 experts in the communication and exploitation field delivering services. We have offered more than support to more than 2,000 projects so far with expertise and training, and we have received more than 2,800 requests for services since the launch of the booster. How to apply this is very easy. You just have to go on our website, horizonresultsbooster.eu, and then from there you can just start your application process. So it's pretty straightforward. For you to know with the steps, basically you have to submit your application first, and then it will get approved by the European Commission in case it meets the eligibility criteria. Then after this approval, then the mentors will be appointed, and then the service roadmap will be agreed, which is the set of services that your project or group of projects will benefit from, which might depend project by project, depending on their needs, of course. And then, of course, afterwards, service delivery will begin, and it might last longer or lesser depending on the scope of the services that you will receive. Just for you to know, we're going to have more info sessions on the booster, which are planned for these dates. It's interesting to attend them in case you want to know more about the booster. We will have our booster coordinator there explain the services and also answering Q&A questions. And that's pretty much it. This is the functional mailbox of the booster. In case you have any questions, you can contact us in that mail, and then we will be happy to reply to them. And now I'll leave the floor to Flora that will explain to you a bit what the Horizon Results platform is and what you can benefit from it.
Thank you, Jordi, and thank you for having us here today. So in the next section of the presentation, we'd like to introduce you to the European Commission Horizon Results platform. The main aim of the platform is to promote EU-funded research results towards policymakers, potential research partners, and the investor community. Here, EU-funded projects can upload their key exploitable results onto the platform. This can enhance their connection to key market players and stakeholders. And besides that, participants of the platform can also access valuable go-to-market events, initiatives, and services. As you can see on this slide, over 50 thematic matchmaking and broker events have taken place already. More than 90 startup investor pitches, and there's constantly tailored training and services for thousands of participants. We've had numerous success stories in areas such as licensing, grants, and networking. And Jordi, please, if you can go to the next slide. On the Horizon Results platform, we have an initiative that might be of interest to you called the Empowering Startup and SMEs Initiative. It has proven to be highly beneficial, and the interest has been increasing regarding this initiative, which is basically if you're an EU-funded startup or SME, and you have your key exploitable results uploaded onto the platform, and you would like to attend an event that's of interest to you. For example, it can be the European Angel Investment Summit. You can apply to reimbursement for up to 4,000 euros for event-related expenses. Now, currently, this initiative is running until the 18th of June, so we're nearing the end, but our team is already working on preparing the new edition. If you follow the platform, you will be able to see the updates regarding this. And please, Jordi, yeah, thanks. One third thing, which could be of interest to you, on the Horizon Results platform, there is the Horizon Results Platform TV, which offers for you to discover groundbreaking innovations with expert insights from researchers and innovators who have made that step of going to the market. For example, in the new podcast series, Dr. Peter Baumann was interviewed, who is the CEO of Razdaman, and he shared the story of how his technology that he revolutionized has been used also by major players like NASA, Airbus, and NATO. So these really show examples of success stories. So it could be of inspiration to you, and maybe one day you could also be somebody who we interviewed there. And that would be on my side. We're very happy to answer your questions regarding both the booster and the Horizon Results platform. Thank you.
Thank you both, Flora and Jordi. These are very useful tools and very relevant for ILIAD, of course. Just a quick update on the poll. We asked whether or not the audience were aware of the booster initiative and or the Horizon Results platforms opportunities, and you got 50-50. So you reached some new new people here. Since you are going to leave us before we really dive into a discussion, Sophia and I, we were discussing, whether or not the booster and the Horizon platform would be interested in be cataloged on the ILIAD marketplace, because ILIAD has a marketplace where we are then promoting or showcasing all the results, both the individual digital twins, as well as the technical components and the technical and there's some, academia. We will have the Blue Tech tool, a transfer tool there, etc. So would it be, do you have any issues with being cataloged on such a marketplace as the ILIAD marketplace?
I mean, I think it's a nice opportunity, of course. We will need to discuss with our communication department regarding this. I mean, in principle, I think it could be a nice thing. I mean, the more promotion, the better. That's always for sure. And we want to reach the higher number of beneficiaries as possible, because we want them to benefit from our service. That's for sure. But I mean, we can have an exchange of emails. I can also consult with our communication unit if that will be fine, and then we can come back to you with a proper answer on that. But I think it's a very interesting opportunity, of course.
Yeah, it's because at the first glance here, it looks like you are to a large degree complementing what we are also going to offer in the Blue Tech Transfer. Some overlap, but mostly there were additional resources, and the audience will be, I think, the same kind of people for the Marine. Yeah, great. Sophia, do you have any question for our colleagues from the Commission?
We have only one short question. And if the project funded by Horizon, for example, it is just an ongoing project, will participants be still eligible to apply for a booster services, or it should happen only when the project comes to its end?
It can be both. So basically, your project can be either ongoing or finished. Possibly, if it's ongoing, you might receive some services more targeted maybe to dissemination rather than go to market. It really depends on the state of your project. But for you to know, you can apply at any stage of the project, either ongoing or finalized. So anything is eligible for the booster support.
Yeah, thank you very much, because I was thinking that perhaps our pilots, even now the project is not yet finished, will be interested in this service.
Of course. Yep.
Yeah, I think so too. It sounds like this is a very good offer to our pilots, the twins. And I noticed there was a deadline on the 18th of June, which should be feasible for some of our pilots, actually.
It's not a deadline, actually. It's just an info session. So there is no deadline for the booster application. We're going to run until 2028 for sure. So you have all the time until 2028 to apply to the booster services. So it's
Okay.
yeah. So no worries on that.
Maybe
No
you meant the SME and startup initiative, because
yeah.
that will be renewed. So the first deadline for that is 18th of June.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So for those twins that we are developing in ILIAD, for instance, that they are ready for a startup, they could make it for the 18th of June.
Okay.
So there's a
You mean
question here. Sorry.
I was just asking to clarify, you mean they would like to visit an event and get the costs reimbursed? Or do you
No,
mean
to
specifically
apply.
the booster services?
No, the startup and SMEs. The deadline for that was on the 18th.
Yeah,
Yes,
indeed. Okay.
There was a question here in the chat. I saw link to the booster service. Yes, could you provide some links in the chat?
I'm going to provide you with the website of the booster. It's where you also can do your application. So it's and also you have some information on the website itself regarding the services and so on.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you very much. And now we are moving on to an example of an implementation, I would say. So Vilja Baljonait Merle, she is a seasoned program manager and senior business developer at at Sintef Digital here in Norway. And she has 20 years of experience in leading large-scale EU-funded projects that is related to digital transformation, and specifically in the field of climate change adaptation and energy. And she has been working both in public and private, even in the Commission. And she will present to us that we will present a project called Resist to illustrate this transformation. Vilja, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Benda. Thank you for a very nice introduction. So it must be working.
We don't see the, there you go.
Okay. So good afternoon again. I am very happy to be here and giving my talk. My name is Vilja Baljonait Merle, and I will dive in the topic of innovative solutions and knowledge transfer between the EU climate vulnerable regions based on the Resist project, for which I am the coordinator. Resist is funded by the European Commission, the EU mission Adaptation to Climate Change. Actually, it's larger than ILIAD, which you presented in the beginning of this webinar. It has 60 partner organizations from the European Union, Norway, and Ukraine. And there are more than 250 people behind this important partnership. The Resist budget is almost 27 million euros, and we started the third year of the project, having still quite a long way to go until its completion by the end of 2027. Due to such a size and complexity, the project is jointly managed by two organizations, Sintef and Innova. Now, what Resist is about? Resist aims to strengthen the resilience, accelerate the transformation, and increase adaptive capacity of climate vulnerable regions in Europe. All 12 Resist regions are shown in this slide. The project focuses on co-developing climate solutions, innovations, technologies, and 4 leading, or in other words, large-scale demonstrators, namely Southwest Finland, Central Denmark, Catalonia, and Central Portugal, that are shown in this upper layer of the figure. The leading regions transfer experience and know-how to aid less resilient areas, also called twinning regions. Now, why Resist is for you too? And without any doubt, climate change is already having wide range consequences for human health, the environment and economies across Europe. The frequency and negative impact of hazardous events has increased tremendously. The regions are being challenged by floods, droughts, wildfires, soil erosion. And the pictures about these hazardous events are in this slide, and they are coming from the resist regions. So, twin green and digital transition is needed to prepare for and adjust to both the current effects of climate change and predicted impacts of the future. To address climate challenges, RESIST will demonstrate 100 new and innovative solutions. And these solutions can be grouped in a different categories, such as nature-based solutions, engineering, community engagement solutions, novel policy recommendations. While the digital technologies take quite a large part in RESIST, for example, graphical digital twin, and you will hear about them later in my presentation. So, the ambition is high, the size is high, the number of stakeholders is very high. And to reach a substantial and long-lasting impact, collaboration is very important in these settings. I actually believe that this is the most crucial aspect for demonstrating the solutions, transferring the knowledge, exchanging best practices, and also sustaining and scaling up the solutions. RESIST is built on 4 collaboration levels, and we invested substantial efforts to build it. First, it's internal level based on quintuple helix partners in the regions. It refers to academia, industry, government, public interactions within a knowledge economy in a sensitive way towards the environment. Our regional demonstrators are built following this quintuple helix model. For example, Catalonia demonstrator is built from 6 partners. If we remain only in this level, we would implement 12 national projects, but that is not the goal of RESIST. So then it comes a vertical level that emphasizes the leading regions and twinning regions collaboration, and this already resulted in 4 practical transfer plans setting solid pathways to transfer and demonstration of novelties between the regions over the next 3 years. Then the next level is horizontal level that focuses on regional collaboration with transversal partners who contribute with their know-how in innovation, science, and technology, and force our climate adaptation efforts to become smarter, swifter, and more systemic. And I will give a glimpse about it in a couple of slides. And finally, the last level is multilateral that spans across European actors and initiatives, and we are going to intensify this 4th level in the years from now. Now, about the knowledge transfer. Transfer plans play a crucial role in RESIST by bringing innovative solutions to regions and tackling climate change adaptation. These plans outline concrete actions to help stakeholders select most valuable innovations and are aligned with the regional ecosystems and are prepared for effective implementation. Normally, in all EU projects, we have already plans fixed from the beginning, but in RESIST, we didn't have it. This was actually the biggest RESIST risk. What if twinning regions didn't find valuable solutions proposed by the leading regions? What if collaboration stayed within regional and national silos? Actually, thanks to dedication of our partners, to specific methodology, and many measures implemented, we have delivered high-quality results that pave the way for the next 3 years to come. Actually, in developing knowledge transfer plans, the RESIST partners supported each other in choosing the most suitable climate change adaptation solutions, allocated resources for adapting these solutions according to the scenarios of the twinning regions, according to their challenge. I give only one example. Argos early warning system developed in Catalonia will be demonstrated in 2 regions, by Hollandaise and Puglia. while in Puglia it will be customized for tourist warning, for example, about extreme heat and possible shelters. As a figure that is presented here, it shows the move of the solutions and how they will be transferred to different regions. And actually, these plans are available publicly to consult with. And soon we are going to share knowledge about the solutions that were transferred and demonstrated specifically. Now coming back to the digital technologies developed in RESIST. It's being said that humans understand data 60 times faster in a visual format, and this is an impressive number to be considered. However, that is only one advantage of the digital twin technologies, and these technologies help to increase common understanding of possible effect of climate change, allow to present possible adaptation solutions in virtual environments. And digital twins allow to increase collaboration between the stakeholders and enables them to make better facts-based decisions. This technology will be developed for all 12 RESIST regions, considering their local and regional characteristics. So it is a horizontal technology. And I will show you some simulations. While the digital twin concept has been broadened actually to include different assets while considering the needs and the challenges of regions. We came up with digital shepherd that serves as a central hub of the digital twin system that facilitates the training, data preparation, and onboarding process. So this evolved to tackle two challenges that regions were experiencing. First of all, it's to avoid that every graphical digital twin developed for the RESIST ecosystem has its own training, data onboarding, and storage processes, what potentially may create a fragmented and cognitively heavy user experience. And then also to mitigate the risk of knowledge and accessibility to graphical digital twin in case a single regional super user leaves their position, what very often happens at regional and regional stakeholders. So, however, graphical digital twin is only one digital solution in RESIST. There are way more. And I will present you 3 more solutions in this slide. It is an interactive catalog of different climate change adaptation solutions that have been already demonstrated in practice by the RESIST partners and beyond. This catalog has been made available for your consultation, and the link is placed here. The catalog is being continuously improved and enlarged, including more and more solutions for stakeholders' consideration, selection, and implementation. While with the next steps, it will be connected to the graphical digital twin, allowing the stakeholders to virtually explore climate change adaptation solutions. And actually, this is a new element that has not been foreseen in the RESIST project from the beginning. As one of our twinning regions, Black India, it is front-runner twinning region in developing and adopting digital know-how. Black India sees a benefit in exploring the potential of extended reality to address different dimensions of transformative innovation. While Catalonia proposes real-time multi-hazard warning tools, and these novelties are specialized for pre-emergency management with the decision support digital tools and inclusive risk communication, as well as citizen participation. So this technology is very handy in extreme weather conditions, which happens more and more often. Now, in all these cases, in the slide presented, these solutions will be integrated with graphical digital twin. And the main driver behind this work are the regions, and they are represented by municipalities, regional authorities, civil protection authorities. For example, in the case of Catalonia, the municipality saw the value of having long-term planning technologies as digital twins to be connected with real-time hazards warning. So finally, this is my final slide. I would like to note that we openly share most of our knowledge, best practices, and results. And one of our ambitious goals is to reach 22 million citizens. And part of our work is already made publicly available. And you can find more about us on website, YouTube channel, LinkedIn, webpage, following these indicated links. And that is, thank you for listening on behalf of very large Resist consortium.
Thank you so much, Vilja. It's quite an impressive project, I have to say, and you are smack in the middle of it, one of the coordinators. So we understand the challenge in ILIAD. I will come back to, I have some questions for you later. Just to moving on, I'm looking at the time here. I want to also introduce a tool that will be hopefully useful also for Resist community. Quick update on the very small poll we did while you were speaking, Vilja. We asked if communication with industry and potential end users will facilitate knowledge transfer. And the answer is not surprisingly yes. So, okay, so then last but not least, we will hear from Sofia Parsadanian, sorry, Sofia. She is a project manager at the American University of Armenia. She has an extensive experience with commercialization and tech transfer already, and we benefit from that to a large extent here in ILIAD. She has developed several tools already to facilitate this tech transfer. And Sofia, I think we are all eager now to hear about the ILIAD Blue Tech Transfer. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bente, for so divine introduction. So yes, we are developing the ILIAD Blue Tech Transfer tool at the American University of Armenia in collaboration with ILIAD partners. So the Blue Tech Transfer is a support facility to promote business development and innovation in the digital blue economy and beyond. One thing we didn't want to do actually is to reinvent another wheel. So the Blue Tech Transfer tool provides information about services that can support technology transfer and business development, first of all, affiliate pilots, and any other projects in various blue economy industries based in EU and in associated countries. So by the way, Booster Initiative and Horizon Results Platform are already part of the Blue Tech Transfer database. So the information about the Booster and Horizon Results Platform is available there. And perhaps we'll see it a bit later. So working on creating the database of resources and tools for scientists and project developers, we just realized that we still don't have a separate category of AI tools for various tasks, for example, for creating video presentations. And I used one of those tools to create a video presentation I'll show you just now. So this will be a validation of that tool. Let's see how it goes. And I will just share my screen. Give me please 1 moment.
First of all, thank you for joining us today. Our goal is to create a tool for scientists, researchers, project leads, and developers that is designed to provide you with the information about resources available for you, projects development, commercialization, and scaling up. The tool is called Blue Tech Transfer as it is relevant for the blue economy industries, such as marine living resources, marine non-living resources, marine renewable energy, desalination, maritime transport, coastal tourism, seafood processing, biotechnology, port activities, digital services related to ocean. In this presentation, we will walk you through the design and structure of the website and explore its key features. First of all, what type of resources are available in Blue Tech Transfer website? We are aware that today there are plenty of resources for projects development. You may need funding for your research development, finance for your business development, startup support services such as incubation programs for projects around idea stage, acceleration programs if you already have minimum viable product and/or probably first clients. Mentorship and coaching can help you get experienced guidance from industry experts. Even if your service or product is free, it is still worth learn how intellectual property rights can be protected through free consultations organized by EU or national project support ecosystem. Perhaps one of the most critical bottlenecks in projects development are feedbacks from potential end users' clients. Access to specific data and technical infrastructure is also considered to be a resource for projects development. Key question is, how are you supposed to get information about all these types of resources? Of course, we have Google, we have ChatGPT. Even before Google and ChatGPT, we had rumor mill, but all those ways to get information are pretty much time-consuming ones. You need time to verify whatever you will get from Google, GPT, and especially rumor mill. Sure, the main question is, how does the database of resources look like? Today, the resource database includes more than 200 different resources for blue economy projects. Resources for projects focused on aquaculture, fisheries, environmental protection, renewable energy domains are already available on the website. The resource database is constantly verified and updated with new resources, as well as no longer active resources are removed from the database. In the chat, I posted a link to the Excel file in which you can write to us what resources for the development of your projects you use or used. If these resources are not currently in the database, we will add them. So, the ILIAD Blue Tech Transfer is a specific one-stop shop with verified and consolidated information on all types of resources available for your project. Through a series of questions, the system will identify key characteristics of your project that it needs to show you the resources available for your project. Let's see how it works. The link to the website is in the chat, or you can use the QR code you've seen on the screen. The first thing you will see is a few simple questions about who you are and where you are from. This is important because the Blue Tech Transfer tool is loaded with resources at the national and EU levels. After you fill in your first name, last name, email address, country, and organization, the system will ask you some questions about your project. First of all, what do you need? Funding for research development, funding for business development, startup services, consultation about the intellectual property rights, feedback from potential end users or clients, or access to specific data or technical infrastructure. Multiple choice is available for this question. Another important question is, what industry is your project related to? Answering this question, you give the necessary information to the system to identify potential early adopters and clients. What is technology readiness level of your project? Most of resources are designed for a certain technology readiness level. Do you already have a prototype and minimum viable product? And have you taken any steps to protect your intellectual property? What is considered to be the result of your project? Will it be product that is manufactured or software/service? Once the system has received answers to the questions we just went over, Blue Tech Transfer tool will be able to generate a list of resources available for your project with a brief description and links to more detailed information. Each green button is clickable and will redirect you to the resources website. In the case of startup support services, such as incubation and acceleration programs or investment funds, you will usually receive a direct link to apply or an email address for a contact person. How it will look like you can see on this slide and on this one. As you see on this slide, there are more than 60 resources for projects in marine living resources domain. The number of available resources increases as technology reaches greater maturity. This trend will be relevant for each domain. It is important to note that potential customers and potential customer associations are included in the resources. This is done because it is especially important for innovative projects to involve potential end users in the co-design process as early as possible. In this section, information on national and European associations of aquaculture farm producers and operators is available. There are more than 50 resources available for projects focused on environmental protection activities, including oil spill detection, and around 50 resources for projects developing solutions for marine renewables. This section contains information about the largest operators and owners of offshore wind farms. Blue Tech Transfer tool is available via link you see on your screen. Now let's take a very small survey. That's only 5 questions, and it is about the ILIAD Blue Tech Transfer structure and design. Your answers will be used to improve Blue Tech Transfer tool, make it more valuable and more user-friendly tool for researchers and project leads from different European countries to identify resources available for their project's development. Your feedback may inspire us to work faster.
Thank you. I hope it was cute enough video. So if you have questions, I'll be sure happy to answer those. One more, I wanted to emphasize actually that Blue Tech Transfer is not only a kind of standard catalog of incubation acceleration programs and investment funds, but we also included their information about potential end users for each domain and associations of end users where it was available. Because we really think that this addresses one of the main challenges of moving project from academia to market. So as I mentioned, the database of resources is updating constantly, and I will share the link in the chat to the spreadsheet where you can actually, and we ask you to put some resources you are using or you used. And we'll see, perhaps we don't have it in our database, and we'll be happy to add them there. So thank you very much for the attention. Any questions? I'm ready to answer.
Thank you so much, Sophia, for taking on this ride of innovation with artificial intelligence as well.